Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. As I'm recording this, it is just after 10:30 on a Saturday night. This is a story that was released about 8 minutes ago as I'm recording. It's a story really I should give it full vengeance on had I been up in normal conditions and in the studio. It would get a full video. I'm not doing that, but it is in now the public domain. It's there to be seen. And so I do feel it's important that I do sort of a bit of a breaking news on it. Although I suspect most people will be watching this video on a Sunday morning, and that's absolutely fine. It's to do with Humza's hate crime bill. More specifically, it's to do with that. The cost of Humza's hate crime bill. You currently have a police service in Scotland, Police Scotland, that is massively, extensively under resourced. It is at least 2,000 officers shy of what it should be. It's got massive retainment problems. It's got a leadership that is corrupt and crooked. We know that from almost day one when she was accused of basically using police resources for her own use. This is Joe Farrell. She has claimed that it was a racist force from day one, doing nothing to endear herself to the rank and file. And then, on top of all these problems, Humza brings in a pointless, what he calls hate crime bill, but which we all know is effectively an anti-Islamic blasphemy bill. And so far, where we're talking, the 1st of April, it's now the 1st of, effectively for the first 2 months, April, May, now the 1st of beginning of June. We're on the 10th of June, is it? Something like that, 9th of June. So basically the first 2 months. How much do you think in the first 2 months it's cost Police Scotland to investigate, record, monitor, everything to do with the hate crime bill? Well, so far, the total is, and prepare to be mind blown over this, £500,000. 2 months. £500,000. That translates at going to be what, 3 million? Where are we? £3 million? Yeah, because we quarter. Yeah, it's a quarter. So £3 million a year, just on a hate crime bill. 3 million a year would employ a lot of policemen. It would help retain a lot of policemen. It would improve services. It would perhaps keep a few stations open that have subsequently been closed. It is an absolute crime to waste this money on pettifogging little complaints by inadequate little people about little people saying words they don't like. I've got hurty fifis. Meanwhile, you're seeing people being robbed, stabbed, murdered. And the police are tied up because of somebody saying something nasty on a social forum. What a pile of absolute shite this truly is. And an indictment totally of the failure of the legislation. But of course, we all know it was never about hate. It was always about blasphemy, anti-Islamic blasphemy. And for Humza Yousaf, the cost was immaterial. He had had his orders from the blokes down the mosque, and he had to conform to their wishes. And so that's what he's done. He's ridiculed the police effectively. They can no longer now come forward and say, we need more money. They can no longer say, but we're under-resourced, because it is quite clear that they have sufficient resources. They've got so much money that they can afford to blow £3 million a year on this utter piece of shite. So when they do go, oh, but we need a pay rise, or we need more policemen, or we need more resources for this, or we need something to help keep this police station open, they just go, no, you've got plenty of money. You've got far too much money. You're spending £3 million a year addressing somebody's hurt feelings because one citizen has said something that another citizen has found a little bit offensive. Now, there is no crime of being offensive, of course, and indeed being offensive is how you get things done. It is only through changing of attitude, making things wrong, making and highlighting efforts through offence that laws change. They can't understand that. They seem to think that you can be offensive. Just simply being offensive is a hate crime. There is no such thing as hate. Hate has never, ever been defined in law. Who knows what hate is? What one man finds offensive, another may say is hate, another may just say is a bit of banter. Until there is some kind of legally defined level of what is becoming hatred, how can you possibly have a hate law? And of course, that's where it all falls down, of course. And you know that nobody has actually been prosecuted under the hate law. They've been investigated under this hate crime law, but everyone who's ever been in any way sort of sanctioned by it has not been sanctioned by this hate crime law. They've been sanctioned by existing laws, which goes to show that this law itself is pointless, needless, and shouldn't exist. And, as we've seen, is horrendously expensive. So Police Scotland have got a choice, haven't they? They can either give up forever any claims on wanting more resources, more money, or more help, or they can give up investigating, recording, and responding to the Hate Crime Act. Ultimately, this is a job for Jo Farrell. It's her decision. And yes, it's a tough decision, but it is by decisions that those in authority are judged. And I think in her case, she will be weighed, she will be measured, and she will be found wanting. Very much like this law. Thank you very much for listening. I do hope this has been of interest. Do please hit subscribe. Please ring the bell. Press like, definitely. And I will speak to you later. Bye.